adept in locating banshees. I'm skilled at locating banshees, and I'm doing so everywhere. Banshees, who wail when someone is going to die, are something I'm fascinated with. I am aware of the typical appearance of banshees, which is often an old lady dressed in white. I raced up to an elderly-looking lady dressed in white, as I recall, and I had a knife in my hand. I needed the knife to defend myself. Then, much to my delight, this elderly-looking lady began to scream like a banshee. I asked her who was going to die since she was screaming so loudly. I was so happy to have discovered a real banshee that this old lady simply fled off. To my amazement, it didn't take long for me to discover another banshee once again. I was determined to find one again. She was another white-clothed, elderly-looking lady. I prepared my knife for defense. She let out an audible cry as I ran over to hold her. I attempted to question another banshee I had discovered about who was destined to die, but she would not stop shrieking. I couldn't believe I had discovered a banshee. It's amazing. She fled as well. Subsequently, I discovered a swarm of banshees in one building, together with a large number of elderly people dressed in white. They began screaming as soon as I walked in there with a knife. The fact that there were so many banshees and that the elderly guys were also wailing astounded me. It was fascinating to acquire this new knowledge since I had no idea that banshees could also be guys. I like looking for banshees, and I'm always surprised by how simple it is to locate them. I want to become a full-time banshee finder and quit my work in order to let others know what to watch out for. I was considering recording everyone that I discovered. One night, however, I heard a scream, and it was the banshee's cry. The reason for the old woman's and the banshee's screams was because a guy had been shot to death by death. I then had a fresh notion about finding banshees after that encounter. I began striking individuals with my knife, and immediately there were cries coming from all directions. I discovered that there were banshees of different sizes and forms. There were banshees who were men, women, and even animals. I was starting to get overwhelmed by all of this banshee stuff when I had an epiphany. What happens if they're simply regular folks screaming in terror?